Welcome to GRC Chat. Today our guest is Josh Dorfman. I'm very happy to have you here today, Josh. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much. Great to be here.
Likewise, so before we get into our topic for today, can you shortly introduce yourself to our audience?
Absolutely. So I am a climate-focused entrepreneur. I, let's see, most recently, a few years ago, I started a company called Plantd with two engineers formerly from SpaceX. And we came up with an idea to grow a biomass that would grow faster than trees. So we found this really fast-growing grass, kind of like bamboo, but thinner, a little different. And then we designed a factory that had no smokestack on it, so all electric. And we figured out a way to take this grass and turn it into structural building materials that you could build a house with, like these panels that you nail to the 2x4s when building a house here in the US, um, and lock away carbon from the atmosphere and build a stronger product. So that company is called Plantd. It's off to the races. We work with the largest builder in the country. We just got an order recently for 10 million of these panels. So that's been really exciting. And now I run a business called Supercool. And Supercool is a media platform where we are focused on companies like that are in market, that are scaling up, that are showing that solving climate is actually a here and today opportunity because there are all these solutions actually already scaling, already helping their customers either make more money, save money, and cut carbon emissions at the same time. And usually in the process, make life better too for people.
It sounds actually super nice. I mean, it's very, environmentally impactful, global, like in a global scale. So, yeah, that's excellent to hear. And then with that being said, what are we talking about today?
So with Super Cool, we look at all kinds of solutions that are, like I said, that are in the market, that some of them are technology. So some of them, like in the US, you have companies like Zoom, ZUM, which has figured out a way to help now 4,000 schools across the country, working with most or many of the biggest school districts in the US to actually get kids to school on time in the school bus, which is like you might scratch your head and be like, wait, that's a problem. Kids get on the school bus and they don't get to school on time. It actually is. So they use optimization and AI to actually make routes more efficient, which cuts down on diesel use. And then once they've made the routes more efficient and they have fewer, they really understand how many school buses they need, then they electrify them. They go out and buy a new fleet because they say, well, you don't need 140 diesel school buses. You could actually run your whole system on 70 something electric school buses. And they did this with the city of Oakland. So we're looking for solutions like that are dramatically scaling, cutting carbon. That's in transportation. We see that happening in buildings. So for Super Cool, what we're trying to do is really tell these awesome stories of solutions that exist today, and kind of put a business case study on it so that a business operator can say, okay, I get why that's working. I get why that company is doing well. And I understand the playbook they're running that I could also probably apply to my business too, even if I'm in a different industry.
Indeed. So, with that being said, is there any maybe key things that you can share when you're, let's say you're looking for companies that are, impactful like this? What should be, like maybe leaders or people responsible to communicate these ideas should be looking at, like, especially I think these are all ESG focused companies, like, environmental change companies. So what should they be, like maybe focusing on, especially because you also have a company planted that was this kind of a company. What are your experiences? What are some things you can, exemplify?
The major theme that we focus on every week, so we do a weekly podcast and then we do a deeper dive newsletter. What we're always looking at is to understand, okay, there's a bunch of companies that are operating in this industry. Why is this one company that we're featuring, why are they succeeding? Why are they able to scale and actually get the market to adopt their climate solution? What's the business strategy? And really what that often comes down to is understanding how do you get these solutions that are good for the planet, solving climate, cutting emissions, to be adopted by a mainstream either consumer base or industry. And so we really hone in on those levers of adoption. And that's the kind of playbook that is very, to us, is like the key to Supercool. So we look at solutions that are using financing in innovative ways. And so like take Zoom, what I just mentioned about school buses. Instead of, if a school bus district wanted to go get all electric school buses, that would be incredibly expensive. So the company says, look, instead of making this capital expenditure, right, that's very expensive, we're going to help you finance it, and like you'll just pay us like a subscription fee. And so it becomes more of an operating expense and way more doable. So we see finance as an unlock. We see lifestyle as an unlock, where we see companies that are selling like electric induction range stoves that are really the best thing you could possibly cook on. It's also good for the planet, but it's really about saying, hey, if you want to get into the best lifestyle, this is really the product for you. So we see financing, we see lifestyle, we see companies that are just taking away the friction. They just make it really easy, like a company like Butterfly that says, look, we're going to come into your McDonald's or your Kentucky Fried Chicken or your Popeyes or whatever restaurant, and we're going to upgrade all of the equipment for free, zero money down. You don't have to do anything. We Butterfly will take most of the savings. You'll get some of it too, but we can justify upgrading all of your equipment because we can make it back on the savings and the energy efficiency. And so we look for what are these levers that then make it de-risked, right, for a customer to be like, oh yeah, of course I'm going to do the right thing for the planet because I'm going to save money. I'm going to upgrade and modernize my, everything in my restaurant or where, my operation. So we're looking for always for those levers. That's really what operators need to be thinking about. What are the levers that are actually going to make this adoptable?
That makes sense. And with that, you already, of course, shared some, cases, some companies that you work with and, what they do. Are there maybe any other examples that you can share more, use cases, other things to, give even more, ideas or examples to our listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the companies that I'm very excited about is called Sunrun. Sunrun is the largest home installer of solar panels in America. They're also the largest home installer of battery storage for homes in America. And I talked to Mary Powell, the CEO of the company. She was on our show. And one of the things she said, she was like, look, Josh, what we realized we needed to stop doing was stop trying to market the solution based on kilowatt hours and technical specs and how super advanced this battery is, because nobody cares, right? Like the early adopters, the very early adopters, yes, of course. But if you want to grow a mainstream audience, you have to communicate to people on the things that are really concerning to them. In many parts of America today, we experience a lot of blackouts because of extreme weather, storms. So, hey, if you had a battery and you had your own renewable energy generation, you could be safe and you could keep your family safe in that situation. You could have more control over your finances if you moved. So they start talking to consumers about this climate solution in the language of consumers, not in the language of either save the planet, climate, or in the language of technology, and really being connected to what the consumer problem and challenge is, and then figuring out how does my climate solution help solve a real consumer problem. That is such a huge unlock for growth and scale for these types of companies. And so really it's like I focus on this industry. I focus on companies that have a mission to drive down carbon emissions. And what we really key into then is, okay, well, what's the playbook that succeeds? And very often that's just pure, smart business strategy. And I'll give you one more example. There's a company called Trove. If you go on Patagonia.com today and you shop for a fleece or one of their very popular items, what you'll see on the e-commerce page you'll see that new product, and then you'll see a little window that says shop used. Right? So right in the same window, it's like, do you want to buy a used one? Okay, well, the company powering all of that on the back is a company called Trove that gets the items that customers can return, uses some AI to make sure they're actually in good shape and pattern recognition, and actually does a lot of the logistics and back-end technology to enable that process. I talked to the CEO of Trove, Terry Boyle, and he said to me, he's like, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Fight Club. It's an old Brad Pitt movie, but he was like, the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. Well, when Terry Boyle became the CEO of Trove, he said to the company, the first rule of Trove is we don't talk about climate to the customer. right? Because we're not selling climate. What we're selling is if you do this solution and integrate used and resale, you're going to have higher margins. You're going to have higher lifetime value for customers. You're going to have lower acquisition costs for new customers. You're going to get all of this financial benefit to your company. Once that's in place, then we'll talk about climate because everybody loves climate when everybody's making money. And so that's really the insights that we're trying to help people understand because these are the secrets and really the playbooks that help climate solutions scale and transform the economy.
Thank you for that as well. I think that also kind of gets into my question of, like takeaway points, because you shared actually a lot of great, points, a lot of examples, a lot of takeaway points that, companies should be looking at when they are implementing their business strategies. And with that, is there maybe any other points you want to share or anything else you'd like to add?
I would just add to me, very often people think, well, if we're going to solve climate change, we have to sacrifice, right? We have to cut back, we have to lower our standard of living, give stuff up that we like. And what we try to convey every week through Supercool, through the evidence, through the data, is it's actually the exact opposite is true. If you want a higher standard of living, if you want a healthier city, a healthier neighborhood, a healthier home, if you want high performance schools, hospitals where people are going to recover better, all of the solutions are the solutions that actually lower carbon emissions, remove very often nasty chemicals out of the environment, and actually make life better. And the solutions are here. And so we are in this moment. It's actually not like, will we solve climate one day? It's like, well, that's an open question. But can we actually cut our carbon emissions and make life better in the same time? The answer is 100% yes. And this is only moving forward faster and faster.
Excellent. And with that, I do not have any more questions to ask for today. So I want to thank you so much once again, Josh, for joining us today and sharing your insights on how to make impact, environmental impact as well in this way. So thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I appreciate it.